Hello everyone, I'm Joe Zagacki and welcome to Hurricane Game Day with men's head basketball coach Frank Haith and Josh Darrow. They join me in just a second. Coming up on the show, we'll talk Hurricane Hoops with head coach Frank Haith. In this week's Unlimited Access, we take a look back at one of this season's more exciting games. And Josh Darrow goes one-on-one with former Hurricanes guard Jack McClinton. Don't go anywhere. Hurricane Game Day starts right now.
We gotta cut harder. Come on, AT.
1, 2, 3. Together.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hurricane Game Day with University of Miami head coach Frank Haith. Josh Darrow also joins me on the show. The Hurricanes continuing in ACC play, and another big game coming up tonight for the Hurricanes. They'll take on the Boston College Eagles in Chestnut Hill. But, Coach, coming off another one at home on Sunday, you are living in the house of sweaty palms and heart attacks. Another close game.
Yeah, I think it's our ninth game.
Ninth game.
It's come down to the last possession, and we were just finding a way to get better, and we struggled late game. We missed free throws. I think that was a major problem. I think we were 3 for 7 in the last 3 minutes of the ball game, and they were, I think, 7 out of 8 during that stretch, and that was the difference in the game.
Coach, what about the other thing too? Probably be giving some points away in terms of ball handling or sloppy ball handling. 16 turnovers, I think, in the game. That led, I think they got 16 points off of those turnovers. So not only missed opportunities at the free throw line, but also then some points given to the opponent, which you added up. That's, take a couple of those back, maybe the outcome's different.
Yeah, there's no question our point guard play hasn't been good, was not good in that game. And, we needed to find a way to do better. And Clemson, when you play a team like that, they really pressure you, which is what they do. They really get up into you. And we just didn't handle the ball very well. And we only took 39 shots. And it's hard to win ball games when you only take 39 shots.
Coach, in addition to that, I guess the lesson learned this year, there is just so little margin for error. Against Clemson, the game's coming down the stretch. Durant Scott drives baseline, has a point-blank shot. It just rims out on, would not go. He gets to the free throw line, a 90% free throw shooter, misses 1 out of 2.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and the margin of winning basketball games is very slim, and those are plays you got to make, and we'll make those plays. I mean, these guys are getting better. We're playing a lot better. It's unfortunate we lost that game on Sunday because I think that we lost a great opportunity.
Clemson, a pretty good defensive basketball team, and they also they play at a much slower tempo than Clemson teams from years past. So when that game's kind of nip and tuck back and forth, Clemson was, I won't say they're playing in a comfort zone, but they were playing at a pace that they were accustomed to playing to. Yeah,
we had a stretch there, Josh, with about, I think, 13 minutes, because we got off to a slow start again in the second half. 13-minute mark to about the 9-minute mark. We had gone from being down 5 to up 5, I think, at that point in time, with 9 minutes left to go in the game. And we were running and playing at the pace we wanted to play at. And I thought once that happened, we took some quick shots too. You still got to run offense, and we got caught up into the flow of the game. So it's kind of a fine line. You want to play in an up-tempo pace, but you don't want to take quick shots.
Later in the show, Jack McClinton is going to join us. I guess I bring it up for a more broad picture of where you are this year. I mentioned at the top of the show you're playing in the house of close games. And a couple of years ago when you went to the tournament with Jack McClinton and Lance Hurdle, and James Dews, all of those guys were juniors, and you won a lot of those games late in the season, and you won those games on the free throw line. This year, it's been tough sledding late in games, whether it's a missed free throw or a missed jump shot, but also your experience level is about 265th in the country. By one of the statisticians, he added up your experience level. You're 265 out of about 300 teams.
Yeah, and it's going to take some growing pains, and that's what we're going through right now. We're going to have some growing pains because of that. Our youthfulness on this basketball team. And, Durant Scott is playing his second year, but his second year being a point guard, too. So he's getting better, and I think he has a chance to be an outstanding point guard. Malcolm Grant is only in his second year here with us. Ryan Brown's a freshman. Garris Adams is a sophomore. Those are our guards that we're playing, and they're handling the ball. So we're only going to get better. And like you said, I mean, with the experience, those guys are going to get better.
You know, you think about Reggie Johnson, and he has come on so strong this year. And I was talking with somebody, and you forget it's almost really his first year of continual playing, consistent play. Because if you think back to last year, it was 3 games at the end of the at the end of the year in the ACC tournament. But besides that, this is his first full year of getting steady action.
Yeah, and Reggie's got a chance to be a really good player. I think, you know, in the ball game Sunday night, you look at Reggie's game, and you know, this is where his experience is going to come, where he's a good free throw shooter, although he missed that free throw down the stretch, but he could have got to the line a lot more if he's more aggressive in attacking the basket, doing his work early, and that'll come with experience.
Well, we've had 9 games decided pretty much on the final possession. Still have 4 games to go, and of course 1 in the ACC, so at least 5 more games to go. I don't know if my heart can take it. Don't go anywhere. There's plenty to come on the show. When we come back, we'll take you onto the court and into the locker room in this week's Unlimited Access. A nail-biter against Georgia Tech. Hurricane Game Day on CSS. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Hurricane Game Day. The Hurricanes have had more than their share of close games, many of which have gone down to the buzzer. One of those was at home against the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech. That game is the focus of this week's Unlimited Access.
We got to create our own energy out there tonight. All we're focusing on and worried about is winning the game. That's all we want to know. That's all we got to do. We talked about what we must do to win the game, and all we got to do now is do it. Just do it. Scrapability, guys. Make sure at the end of the game, we win that part of the game. We out-scrap this team. No excuses. Come on, now let's go.
1, 2, 3,
Family!
Roaming eyes, he moves it left to Adams, a long 3, good for Darius Adams, a 26-foot three-pointer from the left wing. Adams on the drive, trailing him is Miller. Adams on a fall-away jumper, good, tough shot by Darius Adams on Mo Miller. To Ryan Brown looking in for Reggie Johnson. Reggie has it, backing his man down. Reggie steps into the paint and scores. Just blasted right by Kamen Holsey. Good call, Josh. Johnson looking for Ryan Brown. He's wide open from the three-point line, in the air and good. Great pass by Reggie Johnson to a wide open Ryan Brown. Malcolm Grant gathers, fires for 3 and scores. Long range 3 by Grant, and Miami leads by 10, 19-9. Adams on the drive, and the float has it deflected. Johnson grabs it out of the air and scores over the shoulder, moving right to left by Reggie Johnson. Grant around a screen from Johnson, picks up his dribble, connects with Adams. Adams on the drive, through the defense, and scores on the layup. Slicing down the lane, Darius Adams. That's 7 first-half points for Adams, and Miami has a 7-point lead. Scott with a long pass for Adams, and it's intercepted, dropped. Adams at the buzzer, good to go. Yes, got it to go. Les Jones says yes, the basketball counts. A baseball pass, length of the floor by Durant Scott was deflected by Georgia Tech. Adams picked it up and got it to go as the horn sounded. Stabbing at it is Shumpert. Reggie backing it down. Shumpert stabbing at it. Reggie goes up to the rim and scores. Shumpert was stabbing at it, and Reggie got to the backboard and put it in. Left of the paint. Reggie going to work on his man, Holsey. Reggie to the corner for Grant. Rises for 3. Good. Nice find by Reggie Johnson, and Malcolm Grant deposits the three-pointer. Rebound tapped around. Ryan Brown has his fingers on it. Scott takes it away from Miami. Scott on the push, in the paint. His drive is good. A drive and float by Durant Scott, and Paul Hewitt wants a timeout. Gamble steps into the paint in traffic, up with the left hand, got it to go, and the foul. Gamble kept working and working, lowered the shoulder, got the bucket and the foul, and Miami leads by 19. Shumpert to Rice on the drive, a floater over Reggie Johnson, and it will go. Timeout, Paul Hewitt. As he has watched this team chip away and stay in this one, and now the lead is down to 11. We're down to 140. Adams and Scott on the sideline. Morris trying to steal it away. Scott's pass to Johnson, to Grant, to Ryan Brown, slam dunk! Miami finally breaks the press. They're not going to call a foul. They're short of tackling Miami. They will not call a foul. 58-51 Miami. 58-55. Ryan Brown stabbing at it. Shumpert pulls up for three in the tie. No good. Long rebound to Udofia. 22 seconds to go. On the drive, and he scores. Shumpert. Durant Scott goes for the foul. Shumpert goes for the drive. It's a charge. Reggie Johnson stepped in, and Shumpert is called for a charge underneath the basket. Scott trying to get free. Rice trying to tackle him. Scott has it across the timeline. Scott has the ball stolen away by Shumpert. 4 seconds to go. Foreman has it with 2 seconds to go. Back to Shumpert for the win. Half-court heave. It's off the top of the basket, and Miami wins on the final play of the game. Finally.
We won that game, okay? And I want you to enjoy that game. Enjoy the win. But we know we must be better against pressure. We know we cannot play the way we played the last 10 minutes of this game, first pressure, okay? So many plays where guys were coming behind us, tipping the ball. Our execution was not really good. But we won, which is what we wanted to do, number one, okay? So I want you to feel good about what we did. We won the game. But understand we got to get better in a lot of areas to get where we want to be, okay? All right.
Woo! Saturday at 2. Family on 3, yo. 1, 2, 3.
All right, unlimited access. The Hurricanes' a victory over Georgia Tech. There's a famous quote out there that goes something like, "Experience is a brutal teacher, but boy, will you learn." And your team certainly has learned both ways. You learned on the short end of the close games, but also, as we just saw against Georgia Tech, you've won a couple of close games as well.
Yeah, during that stretch there, we had 3 games in a row. I think there were close games we won. And there's no question that we learned from some of our experiences. You know, game against NC State and you know, the previous games that we lost, Carolina game, we got better. And obviously we had the road win at Wake Forest and Georgia Tech win and Virginia win. So we learned from our experiences, although it was tough like you're talking about, but we did get some wins from the experiences we had early in the year.
Coach, when you get to see something like that, kind of maybe a couple games removed, and you see Reggie kind of active inside, you see the ball movement in the post, out, Malcolm Grant hitting shots, you get to, it also breathes some optimism, and you know, I know it was a tough loss on Sunday against Clemson, but you could also see what your team is capable of. I mean, they built a 20-point lead plus against Georgia Tech.
No question, and we just turned the ball over, and, you know, and that's been a problem here in a couple of games, but that particular game, we really had a rash of turnovers, and late in that game, and we got to learn how to finish those games off. And I mean, you're not going to beat a team by 40, I mean, in the ACC, but that should have been a 10 to 15-point win the way we had if we'd handled the ball.
Teams know that you made a run last year in the ACC tournament. They know that you've played these close games. They're not exactly dying to face you down the stretch here, and there's still opportunities for your squad.
Well, that's the bright side of things is we haven't really gotten beaten. I mean, a 10-point loss to Duke and I think an 11-point loss to Duke. I mean, that's all there is. I mean, every game has been tight, hard-fought ball game down to the end.
And after the, you know, speaking of that Duke game, you know, I think there's a pretty good expert on college basketball that knows a little thing or two, and Coach K was pretty complimentary of your team and your team's performance. So if we're gonna listen to anybody, he's a pretty good guy to listen to in terms of analyzing Hurricanes basketball, and he was very complimentary after the game.
Yeah, I heard those comments, and actually I sent a note to Mike thanking him. Obviously, he didn't have to do that, but there's no question that you know, our team played well, and as he well stated it, they just beat us. We didn't beat ourselves.
All right, don't go anywhere. When we come back here on CSS, we will talk with one of the most prolific scorers in Hurricanes history as Josh Arrow goes one-on-one with former Hurricane Jack McClinton. Talking Hoops, that's coming up next right here on CSS.
Welcome back, everybody, to Hurricane Game Day on CSS. You recognize this face? It usually says 33 right here. Big timer Jack McClinton. How you doing, my man? And Jack's back from Israel. So you've been playing there the last 2 years, right?
No. First year I was in Turkey.
First year in Turkey.
First year in Israel.
First year. Tell us, what's the experience like playing overseas?
It's different, man. You're still doing what you love. This time you're getting paid for it, and I go out there, work hard every day, try to get better, so I can, I'm still chasing the dream of the NBA. But this stuff about this lockout stuff is really, I don't know what's going on. So I'm just trying to focus on this year.
What walk us through the first time, either you were in Turkey or Israel, just sort of that transition from being here to going there, being an American player, playing on foreign ground.
Turkey was tougher because I was in a small town. It was a really strong Muslim country, a lot of praying going on in the loudspeakers, a lot of stuff was going on. It kind of scared me at first. But Israel is it's like more Americanized. A lot of people speak English. The weather's good. It's like Miami. The beaches are nice. People are nicer.
All right,
like that a lot better.
And you're not. I know you said you're about 40 minutes from Tel Aviv.
Yeah,
I know Tel Aviv. Have you been there? Because I heard it's
I go all the time.
Pretty big beach town, right?
Yeah,
nice
very nice.
Beaches, beautiful on the water.
Very beautiful. A lot of stuff to do there, like the States.
Like the States.
Exactly.
What other Americans? Any other Americans? I know like you can have like a limited number of Americans.
I got on my team a kid named Rodney Green went to LaSalle, Warren Carter went to Illinois, Tyler Wilkerson, and we just signed Courtney Phelps from NC State.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Did you give him some?
Yeah, we played. Actually, me and him won the last game together. We were on the court, so we made some big plays.
Finally, he did something good for us.
Yeah, exactly.
He broke our heart a couple of times. You know, Raleigh still hasn't been too kind to us.
I saw the last game.
Okay.
I saw. They put the games on TV. Sunday night hoops. I catch them.
What time? Yeah, Sunday night
like
hoops.
3 in the morning.
What time?
It's like 3 in the morning over there. I stay up. See, I support my Canes. I stay up 3 in the morning to watch the whole game.
All right. So now the Canes, they're going. I won't say they're going through tough times, but it's been. Well, I take that back. It's been pretty tough. Some tough losses in the last minutes, but. The year we went to the tournament, the year you went to exactly the same.
A lot of close games.
If you had to speak in front of the team, what would you tell them?
Like right now, you just got to keep working. Just keep working. Don't ever get discouraged because you're not going to win every game. You're not going to lose every game, but it's all about runs and spurts, and I think it's about time they're going to get this run. They got Georgia Tech coming up. I will be at the game, cheering everybody on, pom-poms, whatever you need. If I got to trip a couple players to get this win, I'll do it. We need to get back on the rise, man.
What's someone, Lil Birdie told me 3-point shooting contest in Israel or in Europe?
Israel.
And you won.
Won that one.
No shocker.
Yeah. They were counting me out though. I'm not even gonna lie. They were counting me out. I had to come there, show them what's up. Got the win. Felt great.
So unless people have done a little YouTube search or flown over to Israel to see you play. Are we still a man with the unbelievable shot, or have we rounded out the game a little bit?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the hole, work on the mid-range a little bit more. I don't really have as much freedom as I had here where I can just come down and just pull. But, the coach is good. He's cool. Good teammates, but, no freedom like Miami like I had here.
All right, give me something you've done in Israel that was completely foreign to you the first time you've been there that's more natural now. Delicacy, food.
I went snowboarding. It's not foreign, but I went snowboarding.
How's the food?
You
eating all right?
The food is good. The food is good. They got, I cook for myself. Chicken wings every now and then. Spaghetti.
Okay. So you're trying to keep it as American as possible.
Keep it American.
Keep it as American. Now, do you keep in touch? There's at least 2 other guys, right, playing in Israel?
Just Asbury. Everybody else left.
Okay. Where's Brian?
He's in Tel Aviv.
So you see him?
If I go up there, if I spend the day up there, I'll see him. But it's so far, you don't want to keep going back and forth.
Do you have a car?
Yeah, we got a car.
You got a car. Now, I heard Brian, you look at the numbers. The sports information director for the University of Miami, Margaret Belts, does a great job keeping us up to date with you guys. He's like putting in 30 points a game.
Margaret is killing.
Margaret kills the numbers.
Yeah,
but
Brian he's doing very well out there.
Right, like 28 points a game?
Yeah, he's killing.
So
he should be in the first league. I don't know why they have him in the second league. He should be in the first. Quote me on that. Next year, he should be there for sure.
All right, so what you said your dream's still to get back to the NBA.
For sure.
Have you had any? Has you had any?
Honestly,
contact with the league?
I'd let my agent handle all that.
Okay.
I just want to play basketball and get better and just keep working hard, man. That's what got me to where I am right now. I'm not going to stop now.
All right, working hard. That's something that can you describe? I think people just think working hard is the same for everybody. I've heard some pretty wild. I won't say wild, not wild and crazy, but in terms of the amount of work you used to put in. Why don't you tell people how much?
Working hard is, you got class at 10, you go into the gym at 8, you got practice at 3, you come early around 1, shoot. After practice, you stay, come back late at night, 1 in the morning. Like, I made friends with the janitor, the guy that opened the door. So I used to come in like 12 in the morning, 1 in the morning, just work. All hard work pays off.
All right, and one last thing, just you've been gone now for 2 years, but have you had time to reflect and sit back on how special your time here was?
Oh, for sure. I think about it all the time, like how much being here in Miami has been the best I was here for 4 years, the best 4 years of my life. I'm not just saying it because you're interviewing me, but I'm dead serious.
But you mean it as well?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, on the way out, can we flash us one?
Yeah, for sure. I was about to do that anyway.
There we go.
You.
Jack McClinton, and I'm Josh Darrow. I'll give you one too, baby. Back with Hurricane Game Day after this on CSS.
And welcome back to Hurricane Game Day with University of Miami head coach Frank Haith, Joe Zagacki with Josh Darrow as we talk Hurricane basketball. Tonight the Hurricanes on the road against Boston College. But let's go back to the last segment. Josh spoke with Jack McClinton. Certainly he delivered a lot of thrills. Also was the point guy for you in terms of going into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, he was one of the all-time greats to play here. I mean, obviously he won a lot of ball games. He carried that team a lot of games too down the stretch. We got up to the 2-6 start in ACC play. And his last 8 ball games in league play was phenomenal. I mean, I remember the Georgia Tech game at Georgia Tech when we were down. He hits 3 straight threes. The Maryland and Boston College game here, he was outstanding. So he had an unbelievable career and all-time leading three-point shooter in the Atlantic Coast Conference. So pretty prolific scorer.
One thing that comes to mind with Jack, I still remember that NCAA tournament performance against St. Mary's. 32 points in the second half. He had some unbelievable stretches of play. I mean, over the course of the season, but if you look at some individual games, I remember the game at Duke at Cameron when he went for 34, but that on the biggest stage in the NCAA tournament, he ripped off an amazing second half.
Yeah, it was quite unfortunate that day Curry went for 40 because I think for Davison, if he hadn't done that, they would probably talk a little bit more about Jack in the NCAA tournament. Then Randy Bennett, the coach at St. Mary's, I saw him out in the summer, and he told me they had a play they put in their playbook, and they call it Jack McClinton. He was pretty amazing in that ball game.
Another big week coming up for you, Boston College and then Florida State, so 2 more big opportunities inside the conference. 2
teams ahead of us in the race and big games. Road opportunities. Boston College right now looks like they're in the tournament, and if you're able to beat a team like that, and you got Florida State, who's probably is in the tournament too, it definitely helps you as you continue to fight towards your postseason bid.
Coach, so much star power in this league, and not to take anything away from anyone else, but where would you put Reggie Jackson in the talk of the conversation of talented players that can really kind of take over and dominate a ball game?
Well, I think he's an all-league guard. I think he's tremendous. I mean, he scores a lot of different ways. He's really developed his game. Early in his career, he was a slasher. Now he's become a really good three-point shooter. He's also a really good passer. So I have a lot of admiration watching Jackson play. I mean, he's a tough kid.
And later on, it's Florida State. They lost Singleton, but still their calling card is going to be defense.
Yeah, but you know what? They're the one team that could lose a player like that because they got so much depth on their team, and they're so talented. So yeah, they play great defense, but they got a lot of talent on that ball club.
And that being said, too, when a team loses a high-level player, even though you have to play them again and they'll be a man down, it's never. When we saw, I think we all saw that, we were like, that's just you feel probably at most for the player. A guy like Chris Singleton, who's going to miss the rest of the season.
Yeah, but like I said, they're a very good team, and I don't think they've lost since he's been out. So I think they're very talented.
All right, got a couple more big games coming up. You bring the oxygen. Get me propped up, Coach. The best of luck. I know you'll have your team ready to go.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for the show. For Coach Haith and Josh Darrow and the entire crew, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week on Hurricane Game Day with University of Miami head coach Frank Haith right here on CSS. So long, everyone.